Hi, I'm Dave. This is the Cyderbaby pod, and I am talking to Adam from Dust Coda. Hello.
Hello, Dave, and hello to all you you watchers and listeners out there. Thank you very much for having me. How you doing?
Oh, no problem. Well, it's a pleasure to be speaking to you. You produced one of the best albums last year by everybody's standards. I mean, Mojo Skyline. Everybody seemed to rate it on the New Wave of Classic Rock polls. So you must have done something right. Tell me a bit about the album.
Oh, it's been a great year. Where are we now? We're Feb, so it's nearly a year old. I think came out end of March. And blown away by the response and how it's been received. Very proud of it. You know, we knew it would be the kind of stepping stone for the bands that was needed, and it far exceeded all those expectations. It was amazing. So we actually made it back in 2019.
Right.
Made it ourselves, and then Earache picked us up in 2020. And then the wonderful thing that is COVID happened. And, you know, it didn't get released until March last year. So it's so we've been sitting on it, enjoying it for years.
Yeah.
But finally we're able to share it with everyone, and it's gone down a treat. So it's really good stuff.
When you recorded it and sat back and listened, did you sort of feel at the time it was, good stuff?
Yeah. I love that bit of the process, because it starts early on as well, you know, because we're a 4-piece rock band, so we're very organic.
Yeah.
And John and I write all the songs, and just from me and him just strumming in my kitchen to then just doing mobile phone recordings in the rehearsal studio of the band, then making demos in pre-production, then all the way through getting the mixes to the masters. There's this evolution of excitement, because everything that you have in your head slowly comes to fruition and makes it real. And in each step of that journey, they all come alive more, gain their own character, and just get better and better. And some of them change a bit, which is also exciting, but only for the positive. Yeah. So selfishly, we were able to get both excited about it for a long time and enjoy it. So
awesome. Has recent touring spawned any more recording?
What, sorry?
Recent touring spawned any more recording?
No, but I'll answer your question in a different way. On the touring side, again, sodding COVID. So, you know, we were able to pull off our last tour without cancelling. So that's amazing.
Yeah,
you know,
that's pretty okay.
Out on the road with a hot damn. And I think we sold out 5 of the 8 shows. It's just incredible, because, you know, people were starting to be a bit like, oh, we're not going out again. So that was brilliant. So touring has actually spawned more touring. We'll come back to later. So that's amazing. But in terms of recording, we are all guns blazing. We are starting the process for album number 3 soon. So we're just, you know, getting it all together, and we're aiming to make demos for it around April. And then that'll begin the process for making the 3rd album, basically, which is very exciting and good stuff.
Awesome. So we touched on the touring. We might as well go ahead and ask you about the Smith and Kotzen tour you got coming up.
Yeah, so that's fantastic. I mean, for me personally, Richie Kotzen's like one of my all-time idols from guitar playing. He's my absolute hero. So, and I've seen him 3 times. When he's toured the UK, and one of them was a tiny pub in Kingston called the Peel years ago. We're talking 15 years ago. Very intimate gig, and it just blew my mind. I didn't really know a lot about him, but I went along because my guitar tutor talked about him, and I was just like, oh my god. So I'm training myself every day to try and play it cool if I ever bump into him. Just got to be not that guy. So in terms of musically, it's incredible. We actually found out about the offer halfway through our headline tour in December. So we're literally sat on the bus. I can't remember which, between one city to another, and got this email. It was like, great, that's amazing. And even in that short window of doing well on the road and causing traction, you know, promoters were talking, and they were like, oh, you know, you need a support band for a rock band in the UK, go to these guys. So it's it feels good that, you know, things like that are happening, coming through. And the venues, you know, they're bigger, they're better. So bigger, better audiences. We can't wait to get out and do it. 3 weeks yesterday it starts in Manchester, 27th
So
February.
you're not counting the hours and the minutes then?
Not yet. Not yet. Rehearsals, I'll tell you that much. But we're getting there.
Yeah. Just an aside, if you could whisk away Richie Kotzen's Telecaster for me, that'd be great.
I don't think you get it off me. So we're on the lock and key, that's for sure. That's for sure.
Yeah, I've seen him a couple of times with Winery Dogs, and I think at Rambling Man. Yeah, it must have been 2019. And like you say, just blown away. But then you've got Adrian Smith as well. Bit of a legend.
Absolute legend. You know, we're in this lovely you know, ballpark of kind of stepping out of the new wave of classic rock scene to play with people like this who are genuinely a bit intimidating but inspiring at the same time. So it's fantastic.
But hopefully it should lead to bigger things again, shouldn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, that's, you know, that's all you can hope. But you know, as well as enjoying it, because you've got to enjoy these things, right? Why we do it, as well as absolutely loving it and enjoying it. Yeah, hopefully, you know, we'll do ourselves proud and the band name, and it will only, like you say, lead on to bigger and better things. It's a reputation, and the brand grows, which is fantastic.
Have you got a list of dates there? I think a lot of them are sold out, haven't they?
Yeah, so Leeds and Bristol are sold out.
Right.
We start in Manchester on the 27th of Feb, and we end in London on the 5th of March. I know we're going to Leeds, Manchester, Leeds, Glasgow, then we're going to Wolverhampton, then we're popping in to Winter's End on Saturday, which is great because they're headlining and we're co-headlining, so that'd be fantastic. We love all the Planet Rock stuff. And then we go to Bristol and then London, and then we're finished. So yeah, but Bristol and Leeds are sold out. So if you want any of the other shows, get in there quick because they seem to be doing well, which is great.
Yeah, typical Bristol, and I haven't got a ticket. Okay, you've got a few festivals lined up as well. You've got Call of the Wild in May, I believe, and Steelhouse and Rockin' the Bowl, maybe.
Got Rockin' the Bowl, Steelhouse, Call of the Wild. We've also got Kendall Calling, which is pretty cool.
Yep.
So it's more of a mainstream one with, you know, there's a Rock Edge, which we're part of the Earache gang representing. We've also got this amazing one in Spain called the Rock Imperium in Cartagena, where Whitesnake and Scorpions are playing, Black Label Society, and then we're this band from London who are chucking 10 pence in as well. So there's a couple of others that haven't been announced yet.
Right.
Which is good because it's part of the scene in the background, part of the recovery. It's things like Call of the Wilds. You know, we got booked for that ages ago, but it's still, you know,
bouncing along. Yeah,
exactly, and honouring those original lineups. Same with Kendall Calling, so that's great. They're doing that. The Steelhouse, we love that place. We're buzzing to be playing that. Rockin' the Bowl we've never played. I can't wait. That always just looks brilliant.
Yes, it was a lovely setup. Yes, last year, and yeah, you'll go down a storm, I'm sure.
Yeah, can't wait. And our first festival was actually in Holland in April, which looks brilliant. It's called Passpot. It looks very European.
Okay.
But there's great bands like Eagles of Death Metal are playing. There's some other good bands playing. I can't wait for it in a good kind of enjoyable little bit of Eurotrash way.
Okay, so plans going forward, apart from maybe touring again in the winter, I don't know.
It'll be a busy year, but we haven't finalised what we'll be busy doing. I mean, we've got, for us, the band our size and what we've been doing, we've got something like 30 live dates now between now and the summer, which is fantastic. The back end of the year will ideally be making the album.
Right.
And then we'll know how much time we've got to do other stuff. And all things take planning. So, you know, or equally, if we have a little break, you know, after gigging and recording, you know, it's a full-on year, right? So John, the singer, he's from Australia. He hasn't been able to go home for a couple of years, so I know he'll definitely go back for most of December and January. So the priority will be trying to squeeze in making the album, and then live wise, we'll see what happens. There's always stuff floating in the cosmos, so hopefully it will happen and it'll all be good.
Okay, just a little bit of inspiration. Where did you draw your inspiration, and why did you form Dust Coda?
My personal inspiration is, I'm a guitaraholic. I lived and grew up in London. A lot of the music I played back in the mid noughties was very different, just trying to be a guitar player on the scene. So a lot of it was R&B and electro kind of rock pop. Those were the good gigs going on. And rock music didn't really have a place in them. And then you get to a point where you're frustrated with it, and I was like, well, I spent the best part of my teenage years wanting to be Slash, so I just want to start a rock band. That's why I picked up guitar and buy Les Pauls, Slash and Jimmy Page. And you can hear that in the band. We are a classic rock band. It's Gunners, it's Led Zepp, it's AC/DC, it's Stones, and then the others all chuck in a bit more of their influences as well. We get compared with Soundgarden a lot because of John's accent, essentially, and his vocal range, but that's fantastic. It's a great compliment. I love it.
Certainly is, yeah.
It's awesome, right?
I can see it.
And then, we mentioned people like Richie earlier, so I'm very, time alone, I get my guitar geek on, and I love all those kind of top end virtuoso shred players, and then also the more subtle melodic stuff, because we're a big believer in writing songs. We're a guitar band at the end of the day, right? It's riffs, choruses, and solos and stuff. But we're very strict on quality control in terms of it's got to be a good song as the foundation, melodic, and good arrangements and all that stuff. And that, the influences for that spread for absolute miles and miles. John's a big Bruce Springsteen fan, influenced by him. I love Ryan Adams. His songwriting style, I think, is exceptional. And then all the 70s greats, basically.
Okay. So thinking back of your back catalogue with the Dust Coda, if you were to pick, say, a track from each album to say, right, this is essentially us, somebody who's never heard of you guys, go and listen to these two tracks, which tracks would you pick?
That's a great question. I've never had that. I would say, and this is a horrible question, by the way, so well done.
I like to please.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Dave. Have you seen us live?
No, not yet.
Okay, no, that's cool. Just because you'd know what I mean by this answer. So, in album 1, it would be the track "Sweet Lover's Gone," because since day 1, when we started playing live, everyone's latched onto that. So, whilst it's slow burning blues, not a ballad, it's a blues song. Right? Everyone sings their heart out to that, and we absolutely love it. Because we've got all the noise and the rockers and stuff, but people just it's always interesting what people latch onto and identify with. And that song "Sweet Lover's Gone" is and it was also the first song John and I wrote.
Okay.
So if I had to pick, I'm sure the others would have different answers. Album 1, "Sweet Lover's Gone." Album 2, you know what? Because it surprised me how well it's done, and I was proven wrong, and it's the complete opposite to "Sweet Lover's Gone." It's not my favorite song on the album, but it's really what's propelled us. Limbo Man.
Okay.
I just didn't. I mean, the numbers behind it are mental. It's got something like 1.5 million streams on Spotify, and it's still going strong.
Wow, you got enough to buy a beer.
Just about. And it does well globally. you know, like again, like I was saying with Sweet Love, it's amazing what people latch onto, and it's interesting that half the success of this album was actually due to fair play to Earache picking it out and I lived with that, but that song just propelled, and I was happy to be proved wrong. So for that reason, I think Limbo Man.
So what is your favorite track from the album then?
Rolling.
Yeah.
It's just musically indulgent as hell. It's brilliant. You know, if you're gonna do something like that, do it properly.
Yeah.
And the way it came out, I just think it's phenomenal. I just think it's, you know, any band in the world would be proud of that in our genre, obviously.
Yeah.
I can listen to that all day. I think it's fantastic.
One final question. Looking at the scene, as you do, looking at other bands, who do you look to be, say, your major competition in a couple of years' time? Those bands that are just starting.
Scarlet Rebels.
Oh man, yeah.
I mean, wow.
Yeah, they've done so well.
They have, and I think we'll see them in. It'll be his winter's end to see them, so I can't wait to, you know, have a beer with them. I think we're different though, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
The good thing about us, you know, in terms of the scene, us and our label mates, we're different to Wagons, we're different to Crows, we're different to Rebel. Production's very different. I think, and I'm a big fan of them, there's two bands that I like. And in terms of competition, I think they're quite similar in terms of that more classic style of rock. Revival Blood.
Yes.
Really good bands. Love them. I'm really looking forward to this second album, seeing what it comes out like. And I'm pretty confident it'll be brilliant. I'm also a huge fan of Dax and Roxanne.
Yeah. Yeah.
If anyone out there ever gets to see the chance to see a rock band live, you must see Dax and Roxanne. We played some of our first ever, you know, we were doing pub gigs with them back in the day, and I love the fact that we're still on the scene together. I adore them. They're great guys. And if I ever get a chance, I will see them, because they're just everything you want in a live rock. You can't, some part of your body will be moving and you can't get a smile off your face. and you'll be chanting along and throwing your fists in the air. I just think they're amazing.
Yeah.
So at the moment, yeah, those two. But very important, massive shout to the Hot Damn we played with for 8 shows.
Okay.
Those are great, really good. And they've only had 2 singles out.
Yes.
The run making and what they're doing. You know, as you can imagine, you know, we toured together, so we spent a bit of time hanging out. So, you know, we're going to bump into them at Winter's End as well, so it'd be great to catch up. I hope they get an album this year, because I'm excited for them, and I can just spend enough time and seen it, and it's different. I wouldn't call it competition; it's different, but I'm genuinely excited about what those guys can pull off. I think it's going to be great.
Well, thank you for your time and a cracking interview, and I wish you all the best for the upcoming tour. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having me. It's lovely being here, and hopefully see as many of you out there on the road soon.
Thank you, Adam.